him? Did we talk after? Why did you go in his room? Yada, yada, yada. So I'm just gonna answer a couple questions for you guys. One, me and Brion don't talk anymore. We actually did talk after the show, just as friends, of course, and Shante would be on the phone. After watching the show and seeing how he told me certain things and then said other things to the camera, I just don't want anything to do with it. I don't know what is real and what is not, so I'm just gonna like leave that alone. I saw a video about me and like why I went to his bedroom and whatnot, and we were friends at the time, so he was just like, oh, we should journal together. So I was like, cool, sounds fun, instant, whatever. So I went and journaled with him, and that's when that whole argument happened and everything like that. I just like to add, that's when he told me that he did things with Alex and Courtney, and so that was the first time I knew that he had done anything in the house. But that made me so uncomfortable already. And then he started talking about Shante. No sir. A lot of people ask me, did I say give him grace? And the answer is yes. I did say that Shante should give him grace, but really what I meant was forgiveness, because I feel like God tells us to forgive others as he forgives us. But just because she forgives him doesn't mean that she should get back in a relationship with him. I knew absolutely nothing about Shante, so for me, if I was Shante, I legitimately would hold a grudge for the rest of my life, no cap. And so that's why I was like, okay, let me have the mind of Christ and like let me think about this logically. Crazy part is me and Brion talked about what that would look like for her. He knew that she was gonna take him back, and I tried to tell him, I was like, you should just leave the island by yourself. Like, it's the best situation because you can go alone, grow by yourself, you know, build yourself up, actually grow, and then get back together with her later at a time if you grow. But no, he had to be with Shante. Another question, did I say that he was growing or whatever? And I did say that just because after the date, he did seem like he was going in the right direction before. I mean, you guys saw he was plotting on more women, and now all of a sudden he's like focused on Shante. And I will just say that it's very sad that he had to do that to realize that. That is just truly pathetic to me. But so I feel like I just saw that like, okay, he's taking a step in the right direction. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Bye guys.
I think everyone assumes that I knew like every single thing that was going on the island, and I would even say like some of the bonfires that were clipped in the edit were not the exact bonfires that like I experienced like while I was on the island. So I feel like there was a few responses that I had with you that were made in the edit that like I don't even think that was like what it's fully shown. So it's just like edited a completely different way, you know, obviously to build like this character that they had of me. So it's just like having that security of, okay, I know exactly what's going on. And that's also holding him accountable for, are you going to tell me everything? Are you going to be honest about your entire journey and your words and your actions? And
you're having this conversation before you're going to see these 10 episodes. So if you don't get clear right now, you're going to bust yourself when the show airs.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there's just like, even like the big episode of the threesome, I don't even think like all the sounds, the noises and all of that, like that wasn't shown to me in my like bonfire clip. So I'm like,
it was, it's just hard to hear.
Yeah. It's just like, there were certain pieces, like I heard voices and everything, but there were certain pieces that were just like a little different to me. So I was like, yeah, like this doesn't seem the same. So it's just like hard to have to relive all of that. So
yeah, I'll say this, and I'd have to fact check it. Your experience is one I've heard before. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure what you see at the bonfire is what ends up on the show. Now, our conversations, which are far more in depth, end up being clip, reaction, I say something wise, we're out.
My gut was to go over to her and say, now, come on. You know what you need to do. If I could have pulled her aside, if that was appropriate, I would have kind of broken the wall maybe. I wouldn't have done this ever, but my head later was like, I wanted to say to her, look, walk away now.
I'm sorry, but Mark pulling Shante to the side would have done absolutely nothing. That woman would have still made the exact same decision she made, even if Mark had pulled her to the side and had a conversation with her and was just like, hey, is this really what you want to do? Blah, blah, blah. It would have went in one ear straight out the other. Because the thing about women like Shante is until they have had enough individually, it does not matter who says what advice someone else has to say. Until this woman is fed up, it does not matter. Child, somebody in the comments said that Shante could have walked in on this man in the bathroom and still would have forgave him because she has on her own blinders. And again, it does not matter what outside forces have to say. She already has her mind made up and is so manipulated by him that she hasn't fully woken up yet. And for me, this is still fresh. I just watched the entire season in 48 hours. But I will say, for me, even early on in the season, I saw the signs that she was 1000% going to still say yes to this man.
There's no way you guys can get me to believe that he actually did that. You guys, there's no way he did that on camera. There's no way he did that. There's no way he did that. I don't care how much they try to put the subtitles. What? He did what? With who? Jesu, you know what's so sad about this? These two met in church. Like some demon introduced this girl to this freaking demon. Like, do y'all know they met in church? I want y'all to stress that they met in church. This has to be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen on like national television. That is the most disgusting thing. And he don't even care. He don't even care that he did that. He don't care that he embarrassed his girl. He not only embarrassed his girl, he embarrassed his church. He embarrassed his family. This is going to be on TV forever. Like, she will always, girl, I'm going to keep making videos about it so Shante can see it every time. If you're going to stay with him, you're going to see this every time. This man is a deviant. Like, he needs deliverance. He needs deliverance. I don't know what church he's going to, but he got to go to another church. Because that makes me question the church that he goes to if he's there. Like, that's crazy. Yo, he did what? On TV with who? With how many women? Hey. Well, he finally got what he was looking for.
I never thought I'd see the day. Shante and Brion broke up, making 3 out of 4 couples who are officially not together from this season of Temptation Island. In case you missed it, she shared this to her social media. After much thought and reflection, Brion and I have decided to part ways for now. We'll talk about that in a second. There's no bad blood, just 2 people recognizing that we need time and space to process this journey. I have so much I want to share with you all, and I hope you'll continue to support and encourage me as I step into this next chapter. I wish Brion nothing but the best, and I hope we're both able to grow from this experience. As I move forward, I'm excited to share more of myself with you all. Part of me wants to be happy that they're not together because they shouldn't be together because of how he treated her. Part of me thinks that this is not serious and this is more for the public to like throw us off because she is receiving so much criticism, which I do think is over the top. This really just reads to me, especially with the 4 now and needing time and space to process this journey, like they're just going to publicly take a break and then come back together very shortly after. Now, she did go ahead and remove Brion from her social media. It's now just her. And similarly, he did the same thing except for one post, which is still pinned of her and him. Do you think this is temporary? Do you think this is permanent? What are you thinking?
Angel really clocked Brion on this date on Temptation Island, when she was like, so you're looking for a godly woman, but how are you looking for a godly woman when you're like looking for threesomes? And he was like, She was honestly too through with him. She was like, this guy's confused. He wants a godly woman, but he wants to be living this threesome lifestyle. He loves his woman, but he doesn't talk to her and open up to her. And she was like, honestly, he needs to go figure himself out because I don't have time for that. I was like, yas, queen, yas, queen. And you know what it's giving? I feel like Brion is very insecure because he's so secure when it comes to threesomes and sexuality. But as soon as she was just asking very simple questions about him, he was like, I even said, he's like, oh, she got kind of deep and was asking really deep. She wasn't asking that deep of a question. Honestly, it was like pretty surface level, but you really only know how to connect sexually. And that's why this felt so like, oh my God, you felt out of control. It felt too vulnerable. And that's his issue. He is too scared to be vulnerable. So he uses his sexuality to protect himself. That's what I'm getting from him.
You knew knew what the fuck I was when you met me, you bitch.
Wait, what was that? Let's zoom in. Okay, so my college girlies should know where I'm going with this. Alright, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense now. Yeah.
Okay, y'all, I didn't realize that Brion guy was on Temptation Island. So let me drop some tea, okay? I don't know why there's filters on here, but it's fine. When I had saw him, I didn't watch it, but my friend was watching it. And she told me that like he had cheated on his girlfriend and had a threesome with like these girls. And I was like, what does he look like? And so she showed me him, and then I was like, wait, what'd you say his name was? And she was like, you know, and said the name, and I was like, shut up. Like, he's been in my DM before. And when I clocked him, I was like, don't you have a girlfriend? He had nothing to say back. And this is Exhibit A. So he's like, oh my, pull up to the A. I've never been much of a fan of driving. I'll fly you. And I said, don't you have a girlfriend? Sorry about that, y'all. I said, don't you have a girlfriend now? Scene. And he had posted like all this stuff for like Valentine's Day. That's why I was so confused why he was like sign up on my story, because he was like, I'm such a good boyfriend, blah, blah. And I was like, and then slid up on my story. So, yeah. And he been cheating on that girl. And they've been together. And I'm pretty sure it's the same girl. I could be wrong. If I am, I'm sorry. But like, this just shows that like, this man has always been like this, you know? So, and I just thought that was so crazy because, like, he's, like, going viral right now, and he has a whole, like, TV show that he's on, and it's, like, it's so weird. Also, mind you, because I don't play that. The follow back is crazy.
It's gonna sound so mean, but I don't care. But I think I would rather eat the barrel of a fucking gun than have the relationship that these two have, than have the relationship that Shante and Brion have. Let me just explain really quickly. Temptation Island is a show on Netflix that I binge watched yesterday. And basically, imagine you and your boyfriend go on an island, right? With a bunch of different other couples. Let's just say 5 or 6. You guys separate, okay? You and the other girlfriends are on one island and the boyfriends are on a different island. You and the girlfriends are surrounded by a whole bunch of guys, and the boys are surrounded by a whole bunch of girls, testing out your relationship, testing out your boundaries, right? Mind you, the people that go in the show already seem to have problems with the relationship already and are using the show as like a last ditch effort to like save the relationship, right? Let's get back to these two. Getting back to these two, he literally tells her that he can be friends with women, and that was the entire reason why they went on Temptation Island in the first place. This man is an utter piece of shit, okay? Not only, everything's recorded, by the way, and they all see this, okay? The girls have bonfires and they see everything. This man has a threesome recorded. She sees it, okay? He talks about their sex life to another girl, saying that he can't do what he really wants because when he goes too hard, it hurts her. Basically, being really disgusting. This woman, after seeing her man cheat on her on live TV, okay, seeing her man talk about their problems with their, you know, sex life with literal strangers, after bawling her eyes out, literally, she has a Bible at night. She's literally crying almost every single fucking night, crying on the Bible, literally tears on the Bible every night over this man, right? She takes him back at the end of the show. They are still together right now in real life. This man publicly embarrasses her on live TV, and she takes him back. And he knew that she was going to take him back because he literally said that he only had to apologize and they'll be fine. And he was right. I'm more disgusted at her. Lack of self-respect, dignity, the amount of self-loathing you must have to let a man dog you on national TV and still stay with him. Like I said, I think I would rather eat the barrel of a fucking gun.
I felt the same way a lot of women felt when they watched Shante and Brion on Temptation Island. But the reason why a lot of us are so triggered is because we've all had a Brion. Okay, somebody that we held on to for way too long, someone that we let manipulate us. And because of that, I feel like we're all reflecting our own insecurities onto their relationship. I do agree she should not be with that man, but we all know that we will stay with somebody until we decide that it's time for us to leave. So Shante, girl, I hope that one day you realize that it's your time to go, but don't let anybody rush that for you because we've all had a Brion.
You talk crazy about this girl. She's not what you want, but yet you're cheating on me. You're
Never believe because he says that you're his dream girl, that means he would never ever cheat on you, especially with a girl that's not his dream girl. I don't care how many times he bashes his coworker or how he bashes his homegirl or he bashes thick women or thin women. I don't care what woman she is. Don't think for a minute that because he considers you his dream girl that he wouldn't pass up the opportunity to be with other women if he was presented that opportunity. And I'm not saying that all men cheat, but I'm saying that some men go out of their way to try to flatter you, flatter your ego, make you think it's you, it's always been you, nobody else. They don't want you to be suspicious of their behavior or suspicious of them with other women. I don't care if it's his coworker, his female friend, I don't care, baby mama, it doesn't matter who it is. If given the opportunity, men will cheat on their dream girl with a girl who's absolutely not. Don't get caught up in your ego and don't be flattered by that.
How to tell if you are the placeholder girl and not the dream girl. Disclaimer here, this is not to say that you are not amazing, you are not a queen in your own way. It is just to say that men have a very specific type. Just think of it like a puzzle piece. There's one specific puzzle piece that is going to fit into this puzzle, and it's not about how amazing you are, it's just about if you fit. And men know, and they will literally tell you. It is not that hard to interpret. Number one, is he bad at communication? Is he bad at making plans? Is he bad at texting you back? Is he vague with his communication on, where this relationship is? Is he vague about how he feels about you? Because men are simple creatures and they mean exactly as they say. If they want to see you, they are going to text you back and they are going to make plans with you. They are going to make sure that they see you and that they can lock you down. Which brings me to point number two, are they not locking you down? Because if you are his dream girl, he is going to lock that shit down as quickly as possible. Inserting a little personal anecdote here. With my ex, it was very, very vague commitment. He didn't really know what he wanted. He didn't really know where he saw me in his future. And me being me and being young and crazy, really wanted to know where I stood. And I pushed us into an engagement and marriage, and we got divorced. And then my husband literally locked me down as quickly as possible. The second we were in person together, will you be my girlfriend? A few weeks later, will you marry me? A few months later, we were married. If he wanted to, he would. Number three, wandering eyes. If a man wants to be with you, you are the only person that he can see. He literally, Emily Ratajkowski could be walking next to him. He's not even going to notice her. He's not going to see her because all he cares about is you. All he sees is you. Men have literal tunnel vision for their dream girls. If he is still looking around, if he notices other people, if he likes other girls' Instagram pictures, you are a placeholder. My husband will literally mute some of my friends on Instagram because they're very beautiful models and they'll post like a bikini picture. He will mute them so that that doesn't show up on his feed, so that no one even sees him scrolling and looking at anything that could potentially be not me. Last and most importantly is the effort that they will put in. If you are the dream girl, they will move literal mountains to make sure that you are happy and you are fulfilled in your relationship. If you're the placeholder girl, that's when it starts getting into that nagging dynamic when you're like, why don't you take me on date night? Why don't you buy me flowers? Why don't you hold my hand? Why don't you tell me I'm pretty? It's because his brain literally doesn't think to do those things, so he's not going to do them. When you are the dream girl, he's constantly thinking, how can I keep her? I don't want to lose her. And I say this with so much love because it is not saying you're not good enough, he doesn't love you, blah, 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 blah. It is just saying men are simple creatures. They're looking for this puzzle piece of a dream girl. And if you are not it, do not waste your time because you are someone else's dream girl. You deserve the person that is moving mountains for you, over communicating, who's making plans with you, who's locking you down, who thinks you are literally the be all end all in their life. So let me know in the comments, when did you realize that you were the placeholder, or when you were the dream girl? What triggered it for you? I'm Monica. I share my mistakes in life and love so you don't have to make the same ones. Okay, love you, bye.
A lot of you guys think that person is with you because they love you. No, they're just with you because they can't or haven't found the person they actually need to be with, and they're using you as a placeholder until they find your replacement. A lot of people ain't with you because they are in love. They're with you because they are in the other L word, which is lonely. They're lonely or lost, and they don't want to make this journey by themselves until they find Mrs. or Mr. Right. So what they're going to do is they're going to hold on to you. They're going to monkey branch. They keep you in one hand, and with the other hand, they're fishing for the person they actually need to be with. They are placeholding with you, and you don't know it. You're the backup plan. And plan A is finding Mrs. or Mrs. Right for them. And yes, should they let you go so you can find the person you're destined to be with? Of course so. But this person is selfish. So of course, they're going to use you as an emotional placeholder. Of course, they're going to use you as a place where they can park their sex organ at night until they find that person they actually care about. They treat you like a weekend Airbnb.
Okay, this is my second time recording this video, but real quick, I just want to say, if I had to give advice to any young woman about a man, I would tell her to cut a man off the first time he played with you. And the reason I say this is because if you decide to forgive a man, the relationship it's never gonna be the same. After a man cheats on you, it does something to you mentally, and you're gonna think that he's gonna do it again. You may say, nah, whatever, or you may be that woman that feels like, I'ma just cheat back. But at the end of the day, what sense does that make? You're never going to look at him the same, and the trust will never be the way that it was before he hurt you. Every time his phone rings, you're gonna be thinking in your mind, who's texting him or who's calling him. Every time he go in the bathroom for 35-40 minutes, because for some reason men do that, you're going to think that he's in there on the phone, and you're gonna be having your ear pressed up against the bathroom door trying to figure out who he's talking to. And let me say this, if a friend helped him cheat, you're never going to trust that friend again. So best believe when he tell you he going to hang out with that same friend that helped him cheat, you're going to be pissed. Like, I truly just think it's going to cause a whole bunch of unnecessary arguments. You're going to keep bringing up the fact that he cheated on you, especially when y'all get into it. You're going to always use that card. Like, well, you cheated on me. And he's going to get upset by that. He's going to think that you nagging or complaining or whatever. And it's going to cause a bunch of unnecessary arguments in your relationship, all because of this one thing that this man did to you. He could be done. He may not ever cheat on you again. But you as a woman, as an emotional human being, because that's how we are as women, you're going to always feel some type of way about the fact that this man made the decision to hurt you. And when you look at him, you're still going to think about what he did to you if y'all stay together. I feel like it's just not worth the mental headache. It's not worth the emotional stress. If you decide to be with a man after he cheats on you, you truly have to forgive him. And you truly have to say, okay, I'm not going to bring this up. When we get into it, I'm not going to bring it up. I fully trust him. I mean, I personally just feel like the relationship over after a man cheat. But if I did have to tell a young woman this is what I would say.
I just seen a post that said men will cheat on women that are good for their souls with women that are good for their image. And I'm just about to shit myself. 9 times out of 10, the person that's cheating is hiding who they're cheating with. It can't be that good for your image if you hiding it. And the person that you're cheating on can't be that good for your soul if you're trying to destroy them. So many times we internalize the reasons we're being cheated on. Well, did I cook enough? Should I have dressed up more? You didn't do shit wrong, but pick a person who lacks self-control, self-discipline, respect for you, and respect for themselves. We've seen some of the best men get cheated on, some of the baddest women get cheated on, some of the most awesome parents in the world be cheated on. Person cheats because they don't have respect for their partner or their relationship. Cheating is selfish. You'd rather give in to your temptations and desires rather than be faithful and save the relationship that you claim means the world to you. It's gonna trigger all the cheaters, but listen, do what you do. Let's just stop making excuses for it and call it what it is.
Why is it that some men cheat but have no intentions of leaving their woman, leaving the relationship? Like, you know how you always hear that phrase, is cheaper to keep her? But I feel like that more so applies to marriage. There are so many men in relationships that, you know, with women they're not married to that still have no intentions of leaving, but they'll still cheat in silence. And I feel like my personal theory is women really underestimate how much men value convenience, ease, peace in some cases, because sometimes they don't choose peace. But I feel like because of that, if a man is happy at home, he's not going to leave. Like, that's the way that I feel about it. Some of these men are not unhappy. That's why they're not leaving. They're just cheaters. Some people, it's their nature. I don't believe all men cheat, but some people are just cheaters. That's who they are. It doesn't have anything to do with a woman. And also, I feel like there's a difference between love and respect. I think it's very possible for a man to love you but still not respect you, because some of these men don't even respect themselves. And I feel like that's a whole different topic for a different video. But I will say this, especially if a man's not like faith oriented or family oriented and has something like outside of his own wants and needs to consider, he's definitely he definitely is more susceptible to cheating, because he doesn't have anything holding him to a higher standard, is what I'm saying. So I'll share something, you know, in my personal life. My stepdad and I are pretty close. And when I was in college, I had a conversation with him, and, you know, we were just drinking a beer. Don't ask me why I was drinking a beer. I don't think I was 21 yet, maybe. But anyway, we were just drinking a beer. And I asked him, I was like, why did you cheat on my mom? And his answer really rewired my brain. And he was like, because I'm a cheater. Like, I've always been a cheater. And he was like, I loved your mom. Like, to this day, there's no woman that would ever compare to your mother, but I'm a cheater. I would always tell women, I live with my wife, I'm not leaving my wife. And a lot of women would still sleep with him. And to this day, I hope my mother died without knowing that this man had like a whole other family. And that always like stuck with me, because I always thought about it differently ever since then. So back to what I was saying about men valuing convenience and ease and peace. What does this look like in the wild? I've seen it look like men and women splitting bills, okay? Think about it. Maybe you live in a city that's like very expensive. Maybe you live in like New York. Maybe you live in like Los Angeles, something like that, where the cost of living is very high. Maybe a man's trying to like maintain his lifestyle. Maybe he couldn't afford that car. Maybe he couldn't afford to be going out with the guys all the time if he wasn't splitting bills with you, okay? It's convenient for him. He's staying in that relationship out of convenience. I also feel like some women make such a nice household environment. Like, some women just know how to keep a home. You know, you come home, the food is there, it is good food, the kids are bathed, and you know, and fed, and in bed. Your house is always clean, like you can eat off the ground. Why would a man leave? Like, where is he going? Like, even if he leaves, he's coming back. Because even if there is an emotional void there, or he's not getting what he needs, like sexually, he'd rather just cheat in silence and come back to a peaceful home. Like, that's my personal theory. Like, sometimes I don't think it has anything to do with the woman that he's in a relationship with. It's his own thing. That's why he's never leaving. And when people, like, that's also why I'm like never surprised when people say like, oh, you know, women file for divorce a lot more than men. I'm not surprised by that at all, because as a woman who's been married, they're like, the guy, I'm not even gonna get into that, but let's just say it took me years for to even file, okay? And I had to be the one to file, even though I wasn't the one who initiated the end of the relationship. Like, some of these men they'll never leave. They're not leaving. And I also feel like some people are just narcissists, and that even if they're the ones who did the cheating, they will stalk you. They will try to ruin your life just because you tried to move on, especially if you have any assets or like children with this person. They will try to like make your life hell just because you left them, even though they were the one to do something to make the relationship end. So that's my theory. Men will stay out of convenience, and because sometimes they're lazy.